Hello, you guys. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad as usual, and tonight live stream. It's going to be about that conjunction which is happening today. I believe it is today. Actually, it's either today or tomorrow, and it marks, for what is known to astrologers, the luckiest time frame, which is about a few days. That's why I said it's a week. So the luckiest time of the year. It happens once in every astrological year, so it's not gonna be always at 3rd of March, but it happens once a year. And hello, Shana, welcome to the stream. And Pisces Moonbeam fed me the astrology into it. Now, unfortunately, the file got corrupted, so I have only the first 10 minutes of it, okay? Basically what happens here into the sky when that conjunction takes place, Jupiter, it expands and magnifies, all right? It expands and magnifies, and but usually Jupiter is considered a good planet, right? But imagine what happens when it goes over, for example, Chiron, which is all about pain. It magnifies and expands the pain, right? So it basically makes things bigger. However, with Venus, it's completely different story, right? Because Venus, long story short, it does relate to first, as everybody knows, it's love, and second, it's money, right? Things which makes us comfortable, the wish list. And on top of that, it's a conjunction. So conjunctions, they do mark new beginnings. And as the conjunction is in between these two planets, that marks a very the thing is that you don't even have to look for it, as Pisces Moonbeam explain it. You know, you may kind of like walk down the street and find a wallet of cash in it, and not knowing where or whom to return it to because there are no IDs in it. So you're gonna keep the cash, right? Or you may meet your soulmate in the next few days or in a week. It's just anything could happen, and it depends where that conjunction falls when you put it on your natal or natal on your natal chart. Is going to show, for example, if it is into your 7th house, then that will relate to relationships. Your love life is going to expand. If it is, for example, in your 2nd house, then it is about the money, and that is the time where you are going to make money. If it is into the 10th house, I believe it was your career. So your career is going to grow larger and larger. So you do have a business, say, in the next few days, you may be approached by many customers, right, that you can sign deals with and so on and so forth. And the last thing that I'm going to tell about the transit from in terms of astrology before I move to tarot is that because Jupiter also reflects our belief system, right? And the planets are not retrograding, okay? That means that anything that it is to happen, being born from this conjunction, from this luck, from this beginning of great times, is going to completely answer to our system of beliefs. So that because sometimes, you know, lucky things happen, but they are meaningless to us, so we don't consider them being anything of use, anything of value. That's not going to be the case here, because whatever this conjunction is going to give a birth of for you and for me, of course, we, my friends, are going to freaking love it. And it will be something very personal as well, because the conjunction is happening into Aries. In Aries, it's all about the personality and all these kind of things, but also it's a cardinal sign. It's about results, it's about progress. So it will be progressive. All right, it will be progressive. It will basically, how can I put it into words? Let's put it that way. If you are in a place or in a state where you have lost your will to live for one or another reason, say your partner left you or your business crumbled down and so on and so forth, and you see no reason to move forward, well, you are about to have one in the next few days. So yeah, your how can I put it into words? Your knack for life, your will for it, either slowly, progressively, or just all of a sudden, why not, is going to be regained back again. Karen, thank you so much for the double $3 US, one for myself, super chat, and another one for a Pisces moonbeam. Thank you, Karen. At the end of the stream, those readings are to be conducted. So that said, now moving to the star signs. Within this live stream, there are going to be 12 readings, 13 readings, by the way. One is going to be the collective, one for each star sign and one reading collective. And if you do wish to have your own personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which link you're going to find in the description down below. Bear in mind though, I am a tarot reader, I'm not an astrologer. However, if you do need an astrology reading, Pisces Moonbeam have you covered. You may find her details also in the description down below. And as well, if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you will have a tarot reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. And if you do enjoy the content here on the channel, please like, share, and subscribe as well, because that is going to help tremendously for, of course, publicity. So, with that said, the collective, which you probably observed on the thumbnail, the first card we do have for it, that will be the Knight of Swords. The second card is the Two of Cups, and the final one that we have, that will be the Emperor. Just give me a second here. All right, let's sort it out. All right, so immediately, those three cards are confirming that this will be a personal experience more than a collective, more than a cumulative one. And we can see that from these two cards here, that are the Knight of Swords and the Two of Cups. They form a active neutrals, which pretty much, they do not breed selfishness, but what it is to be a subject of our luck in the next few days. It's just is not going to connect. It will not going to be of use, that much of a use of other people. So that said, we can expect to have no jealousy, nor how can I put it into words, grievances, for lack of better words, amongst us and the people that we are involved into. And also these lucky times will allow us to basically move forward, deciding how to, right? As these decisions are going to be as well consulted with our emotions, which again confirms that whatever is to take place, it's going to be something we are going to be freaking loving it. Again, to remind you guys, in order to have a better understanding how this lucky time is going to manifest for you, you got to see where that conjunction actually falls in your own personal natal, whatever you spell it in English, chart. But those cards actually are more favorable. Those three cards here are more favorable when it comes to job, career, money making. Okay, and that is because we do have the Emperor here. The very least, the situation is gonna twist in a so way that we all, right, will have the chance to basically present ourselves as people for the task, right? The person for the task, the man, so to speak, or the woman, right? It's just our actions, not just only our actions, but in generally our performance is going to breed confidence, reliability, and also it's kind of like through the happening, uh, the management of day-to-day routine is going to be with a lot of ease for us. Just those two cards are showing that almost there will be nothing that it is to stand on our way. And additionally to it, with these two cards that we do have, okay, which are the Knight of Swords again in the Emperor, it's highly likely to get to the bottom of it. That's what they are relating to as well, to the bottom of it, whatever it is, the bottom of a secret, the bottom of a problem, the bottom of growth as well. When I say the bottom of growth, how to exactly grow into one place or another, or into one field or another. But at the very least, this conjunction is going to bring us the answers of how and of why as well. And that way, it's simply the path forward. It's pretty much revealed, maybe not clear exactly, but a reveal. Well, it will be fairly clear if those cards are to be believed, but it's going to be known, rather like open, revealed. So with that said, the first star sign that we do have, this Taco. Man, you got us worried, all of us. I even texted you on Xbox, on the Xbox chat, because you just vanished, you disappeared, and we thought something bad happened to you. I hope you're well, and I hope that you have recovered from your medical issues, because last time you were around and we spoke, you had something going on with you, some kind of a sepsis, for as far as I remember. All right, so Aries first. Good evening, Anna. First one, that will be the Four of Wands. Then we do have the Six of Pentacles. And the third card for Aries, that will be the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so those three cards for it. That was like a month and a half ago. I was quite of an abscess. I hope you do recover well. Yeah, I hope you do recover well, mate. Uh, Ruth, thank you so much for your 10 US dollars support. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading of the transit itself, how this period of time is going to affect you personally. All right, so the lesser thing that we do have from those cards, it is that this transit will allow you, Aries, to bend the rules a little bit. It can be seen within these two cards. Okay, so literally what generically is accepted by a one creed or by another, by one company or another, by one person or another, those two cards are showing that you will have the luck to basically get away with extending your reach, going beyond one boundary or another. Just don't push your luck, because we do have neutrals here, okay? And eventually the thread that you are hanging on is going to snap if you are pushing again your luck. And that is the lesser thing. The bigger thing about those cards is that you will be presented with how can I put it into words? Well, basically, this conjunction is going to be the next phase for you. That is the new beginning, the next phase of one thing or another, the next phase of your business, the next phase of your romantic interaction, for example, the next phase of your family life, you know, the next phase of your social circle. It's just you will jump into or traverse from a lesser to a bigger phase. And by the look of the cards here, it will relate to the aspect of your life where you do struggle. I don't want to say the most, but fairly the most. And when I do say struggle, I mean you toiled to get to that point and to actually reach that boundary, you know, where the next phase is actually going to start. So while this conjunction is new beginning cannot start before finalizing important cycles of developments, and that is what is going to take place for you into the next few weeks. Thank you, Taco, for your 22 US dollars, mate. Thank you. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your reading. All right. Next, that will be Taurus. Hey, Mattia. Welcome to the stream. Oh, thank you, Taco. There is a new rule, by the way, in your absence. Whenever there is a choice to be made, Pisces Moonbeam is going to do it. So she will actually choose who I am to draw cards for. That way, there will be no speculations that I am favoring one person over another. Thank you, Taco. And Anna as well. Thank you so much for your 20 US dollars. Thank you, Anna. So, Pisces Moonbeam, if you are around, you get to choose. If not, I will pick one. All right, Taurus. First one for you, that will be the Ace of Swords. Afterwards, we do have the Six of Cups. And the third one, that will be the Three of Pentacles. So you may not exactly gonna count this conjunction, if those cards are to be believed, as a lucky one, but in a long run, extremely lucky, right? So what we have in those cards, guys, for you, Taurus, it is that you will basically, all of your friends are gonna flash out, and that way you will know exactly who your friends are. And this is why you will not want to consider it lucky, because for what those cards are showing, certain people that you do consider friends, colleagues, People that you thought you can count on their support, it's going to turn out that that's not the case, right? It's going to turn out that for one or another reason, whether they do not have what they claim that they do have, or they just don't want to support you in any way, or they're just kind of like enjoying the show around you and so on and so forth, and that will disturb you. I was kind of baffled when I drew the six of cups second, but then with the 3 of Pentacles, everything made sense. Okay, and while the whole experience is going to be inconvenient for you, and I'm saying inconvenient because you will find very quickly a replacement, and even without their expected support from your behalf, you will find a better way to deal with what comes next. Right, and what comes next is just only going to be better than your experience as the conjunction is bringing it to you. Right, so be prepared, kind of like certain, let's put it that way, certain how do you call it, a state or an information that it is obscured and then it pops up. I guess you call it a secret, right? So certain secrets regarding people you count on, not all of the people you count on, but certain people you count on, it's going to show up, and like I said, you will see that whenever you decide so, Pisces Moonbeam. So yeah, it's for certain people is gonna pop up, and you will realize that these are not people, these are not the same people they are presenting themselves to you. And if you ask me, that's a very, very lucky thing, because now it seems that you are going to make the detachment or the severance, depending on how you prefer to call it, unscathed. Now imagine what this is gonna deliver for you if it turns out that that's the case when you do have serious business with that person, or God forbid, you make family, right? It will be devastating, but not this time around. All right, so we do have Karen then. Hello, Treehouse. And we have Mattia. Mattia, thank you so much for the $20 PayPal support. Thank you, Mattia. At the end of the stream, you will have your personalized reading for the transit as well. All right, then, moving next, that will be Gemini. The Strength, the Three of Swords, and it is the Two of Swords. So these three again. I'm so tempted to draw Lenormand. Yeah, Pisces Moonbeam, when does the transit start? By the way, Rocky, thank you so much as well to you for your $27.99 Canadian. Let me put you into the list. Hey, Jasmine, welcome to the stream. So I'm so tempted to draw Lenormand. That is because, according to these cards, this transit for you, this conjunction for you, Gemini, it should manifest something rather quite big. For what those cards are showing, this thing, it is something you're waiting for, and you will have to wait for it no more. Now, it may not be something specific. You may be waiting for a person to show up in your environment so you can start dating with them, but that doesn't have to be a specific person. All right, it is just an aspect that you have waited for a long time. All right, or you could call it that you may have even hoped for that is going to come your way. And it's manifesting here because those cards are showing that there will be a lot of enthusiasm into that manifestation, and you will have not a shadow of a doubt that is something you need to experience, although it will happen to be scary, at least at the start. And this is because of that elemental dignity here, the Strength card and the Three of Swords. Now, the Strength card and the Three of Swords, it is when, you know, it's kind of like, first of all, it feels almost way too good to be true. But also, it's a moment where you kind of like, it's not even a doubting. You know, when you have a one shot, a one opportunity, and you have that fever, if you do a mistake, if you miss your shot, it never comes around. Well, that is going to be the feeling, which is going to put you under pressure, right? But for what those cards are showing here, it's you have all it takes. I'm gonna take it that way. You have all it takes in order to climb your mountain, because that's exactly what we're talking about here. Is going to be a mountain, and at the top, the vista, it's going to be the most beautiful thing you ever saw. Now, just a pure speculation. Should that be about your job? Most likely, all right. Most likely how these cards would manifest. If it is, that's, for example, a client or an offer or a job that you almost didn't dare hoping that you are to get. Love life, well, that is a interaction or a relationship with that it's filled with a lot of passion, right? It's filled with a lot of passion. Even if that person aggravates you, that aggravation is going to give a birth of even more passion, right? When a person annoys you, you are gonna love it that they are annoying you. That this is how basically it works with those three cards. So you, Gemini, are gonna have a big one here. This conjunction is gonna deliver you a big one. Hopefully you can handle it. Shana, thank you so much for the $10 support. Thank you, Shana. You want Lenormand? You are gonna have Lenormand at the end of the stream. And as well, Jasmine, thank you so much for the $19.99. Thank you, Jasmine. At the end of the stream, you're gonna have your personalized reading of the transit. All right, next. We have Cancer. The first one for Cancer, we have the Devil. So just from that card, you get what you want. Okay, because that's what the devil represents. You have certain yearnings, right? You do have an urges to fulfill, and they are about to be fulfilled. Then we do have temperance, and the third one, that will be the Seven of Wands. Okay, so these are the three cards. So first of all, what if you do have an urge for power, it's granted pretty much. That will be the luckiest time for you to get that power over a person, over an institution, over a way. If that is what if that is what you need, it's just extreme influence. All right, this conjunction is gonna be the start of your growing influence and of your growing power. Now, one thing that I want to mention here, which is in between these couple of cards that we do have, you may end up being a little bit more protective than you should. So what I mean is that you may see threat where there is no threat whatsoever, and thus you may kind of like waste certain certain options, plural, available, or waste certain opportunities here and there. But the major ones, you will be able to seize, and you will be able to catch. The temperance next to the devil, it's actually this is a neutral elemental dignity, but it is actually a very positive one, because as with Aries here, but you do have it stronger, right? You can get away with a lot, okay? Because as the devil, it's your prime card, Gemini, Cancer. I'm sorry. It's just you gotta go against yourself in order to make things not happening for you. So next few days, examine, or rather like you have to do it right now, examine what you are hungry for. I mean, are you hungry for money, for love, for attention, for power, right? And once you do determine what you're hungry for, go and eat it, because you are going to have a full plate of it. So I hope you do have enough of it. Right, so that was for Cancer, couple of minutes, guys, and then we're moving to the next couple to the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and then Scorpio. So Taco, you do want to open a vet clinic? Well, Taco, that's the thing about our bodies, right? This is our biggest blessing and a curse simultaneously. And that is because our bodies, they do adapt, right? They do adapt to steroids, painkillers, uh, psych, benzodiazepines, everything, right? They do get adapt to everything, and therefore you do need higher dosages in order to kind of like have the same effect, because your body adapts to it, and before you know it, the dose you were taking a month ago, it just makes you feel normal. So that's why, you know, when you are on a meds, if your physician is benign, so to speak, and not malicious, they will switch you off one med and put you to another, right? That you don't have a tolerance toward, instead of keeping you on the same med and just kind of like increasing the dosages of it. Of course, there are certain meds that you can't do that. For example, insulin, all right? Insulin is just an insulin, and if you need it, you need it. But, you know, certain compounds like steroids, there are dozens of steroids, you know, they can switch you from one to another, and yeah. But that is something I remember when I was start smoking. I remember I had a cigarette a day. First, I started with a cigarette every other day, right? So every other day I had a cigarette. Then it became a cigarette a day. Then it became 3 cigarettes a day. And before I know it, I was smoking a pack and a half. Now I know that's in the United States or in Canada, or at least I think that that's the case. A pack contains 18 cigarettes. Here in Europe, a pack contains 20 cigarettes. So I was smoking 30 to 40 cigarettes every single day before I jumped to this. Okay. Just with my wake up, with my morning coffee, 6 to 7 cigarettes were just, sniffed out. They were extinguished in my lungs. So this is because, the nicotine that you are intaking, that I was intaking, my body was just taking as for normal. And when there is no intake, it's just this, the body feels unnatural, and this is the urge. No, it's not a lot. I have a friend that is smoking 3 packs of cigarettes, and it's in 3 packs are not even enough for him. Well, pre-rolling, it's a different thing. With pre-rolling, you smoke less, okay, because of the rolls themselves. It's just they last longer, and you actually have more tobacco in the rolls that you are putting. Although the rolls are kind of like smaller, okay. So with rolls is different. With rolls, I was smoking like 15 to 20 rolls a day, but no more than that. But with cigarettes from packs, oof, that is just before you know it, a pack is done. All right, next one. We do have Leo. So hold on a second, guys. Yeah. All right, for Leo, first one, that's going to be the Magician. Then we have the Four of Swords. And the third one for you, that will be the Queen of Wands. Those 3. So the big two, the big boy here, those couple of cards, the Magician and the Queen of Wands, they basically, and that may sound trivial, but they are the cards marking the win, for the lack of better words. So whatever you're trying to push through, it's happening, okay? And it's happening in a way that is going to surprise your competition and is going to amaze those who are to assess you for it, right? Those who are to judge you for it. Now, this win is going to bring you a lot of sovereignty. Okay, so afterwards, people are going to listen to you. I'm not going to surprise, especially if that's a win in your business, to get a promotion, to be assigned as a manager, as a team leader, and something like that. Because you show a couple of things now. First one is that you do have an exceptional skill. And the second thing that you're going to show here is that you basically have a very profound and astute sense into the human nature. You may not think that you do have one, but that is what you're going to show. That is what people are going to see you for. And that is why people are going to grant you trust, all right? People are going to trust you. Your boss is going to trust you. Your girlfriend or a boyfriend is going to trust you. Your family is going to trust you. And the only negative thing that I can see here is that from there on moving forward, is just people are going to expect more from you. But that will give you influence, a lot of influence, okay? And the other thing that we do have for you, Leo, that will be those two here, which is the Magician and the Four of Swords, and they could speak for a couple of things. First one is healing, okay, physical healing. And the second thing that they do speak for, which is the most prominent one, and that is a problem solving. So whatever, not concerns, but generally problems, plights that you may be experiencing right now in the next few weeks, or rather like whenever that conjunction happens, you will have the means to solve them, okay? And when I say solve them, not just a temporary solution, not a postponing, but solve these problems for God. And after that, it was like they did never existed, okay? So it's a big one for you too, guys. All right, moving next, that will be, oh, how did I miss that? Or like, how did I miss to say that? So these two here, okay? If you are on a hunt for a lover, you are off for a, I would say a person you will dare not to believe exist, because it's not like not gonna answer to your criterias. On the contrary, it will be like you knew each other 1,000 years ago. You knew each other for 1,000 years, okay? So if you are single, Leo, I advise you guys to just go out and date, and you are to find that one. All right, so next, that will be Virgo. Three of Swords is the first one for Virgo, followed by the Six of Wands. And the last one, that will be the Eight of Cups. Okay. So these cards could refer to many things. Okay. The first thing that came to my mind when I drew those couple of cards, it's forgiveness, right? That is one of the most prominent things. So you may be successful into obtaining forgiveness or a giving forgiveness, one of the two things. Whichever way it is, this forgiveness is going to basically heal your emotional state. Now, this is where things get a little bit complicated with these couple of cards. Now, the emotional state is healed through the mind. Now, the Three of Swords, while it is interpreted very often from a tarot interpreters, you know, that you're going to feel bad, backstabbed, and all these kind of things, and yeah, that is true, but the feel comes from your mind. You think of that, right? You think that that person hurt you. You think that, for example, your partner is cheating on you. You think that you're not going to make it, and so on and so forth. And those thoughts, are they real or not? That remains to be seen. Okay, that is just remains to be seen. Or if it is something that happened, then you have to stop thinking about it, because it's already happened. And this is where the healing really comes about. So you're going to stop thinking about the that atrocious, for a lack of a better word, situation that happened in between you and your spouse, in between you and a family member or a friend as well, because you will have no reason to do so anymore, because the forgiveness is going to be granted. Now, this forgiveness, furthermore after that, is going to be the mark of a start of a phase in that friendship, business partnership, romantic relationship, of a peak of experiences, right? For example, romantic relationships, a lot of sex, generally sex, right? A lot of physical interaction, a lot of a nice, in generally, time that you're going to have in between you and your spouse. Business wise, that will be a lot of cumulative work that is just going to produce results, and you will enjoy each other, okay, and how you work together and so on and so forth. Friendships, a lot of activities that you all are going to like and enjoy as well. Now, the other thing that we do have, it is the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups. That's and that is just a support here. Okay, it's a support. It has no real meaning to the spread itself. It only shows that the future, literally, if you allow yourself to believe, to look past, that situation, and to believe that actually you do have a future with that person, with that business partner, with that spouse or a family member or whatever, you will see that the future holds a much better thing, and just, there is no reason to kind of like dwell and dig into whatever situation arose, in between you two that provoked that negative feelings, negative thoughts, which are the cause of the negative feelings you do have in between you two. So in any way you look at it, it's a healing through a forgiveness. All right, so moving next, we do have Libra. Hey, Shakti, welcome to the stream. The High Priestess, and it is the Magician, and it is the Queen of, not the, I don't know why when I always drew the Empress, I say the Queen of Empress. It's just there is an urge to say the Queen of Empress. It kind of sounds ridiculous. I don't know if you are going to be disappointed or not, Libra, but all that these cards are showing here, okay, aside from love, that is, with anything but love, is going to be that just things are going to consolidate. For example, your job, if you are expecting to sign up a long-term contract, that will be your time. This is what the conjunction is going to produce for you. Friendships are going to be extended, and in generally here what those cards are showing, it is for anything else but love, okay, it shows that you will establish a future that will be homogeneous, for a lack of a better word. It is like things are going to go in a certain way, and they're never going to stray off that way, and the way is going to be good, because it will be, for what those cards are showing here, it will completely correlate with your plans, okay? But the thing I don't like, it's those two cards, okay, the High Priestess and the Magician, and it kind of shows that in a certain, basically the rules had been already established, the negotiations had already been made, okay. What we call in our country is that the match has been already whistled, and there is no change into it. So whatever you agreed on or whatever you demanded, you gotta stick with it. You have no other choice. Now, I said anything but love, because love for you, Libra, if it happens that you do fall in love, that will be for the rest of your life, all right? That will be a life lifelong a love that you're gonna have. Now that doesn't mean that you are gonna be together, which is a sad part. All right, you can, but you may not. Okay, because that is just your personal love here. And yeah, you are off your track to entangle yourself with, let's put it that way, soulmate or a twin flame. And I'm saying that it may not work because of that magician being next to the high priestess. Okay, it's not that bad, but bottom line here is that there will be aspects of yourself, and not just only of yourself but the other person as well, that you both ain't gonna like. So there will be that urge, you both, to change each other, to shape each other in a model that you both are going to like, which is not a good thing for relationship. You know, as soon as someone tries to, for example, for me, as soon as a girl tries to change me, to ask me to change, this is where things end. All right, I ain't to change. I mean, I'm almost 40 years old and I love my life, right? So I don't need to change anything. If you don't like it, it's your problem, not mine. But that's just my standpoint, right? But it's going to be your standpoint as well, and the other person's standpoint. So you will try to change each other, but none of you will want to change themselves. Okay, that this is where the problem comes. Right, so that was Libra. Now moving on, next we do have Scorpio. We have the Chariot as the Scorpio, with the Six of Swords. It is the Ace of Swords. Those three. Well, it's a tough one. All right. How do I put it? Oh, first, it's things ain't gonna be as tough as we think they are gonna be. I don't know how other ways to explain it. Those cards are speaking about a transition that is ahead of us, right? A transition that we probably have already started or we're contemplating to start. And you know, when people do that, when people do transitions, they have an expectations of resistance, you know, expectations that it will be difficult, it will be hard. Well, those cards are showing that it's not going to be that difficult and it's not going to be that hard. In fact, that transition should go fairly smooth, and it should be very rapid, because the this conjunction for us is going to bring a wish fulfillment, and this is the wish of the transition itself to happen and to end up being successful, which is exactly what is happening. However, we do not know all that goes along or comes around with it, so to speak. So in the next few days, okay, the times are gonna be strange. People are gonna tell us strange things. The situations are going to produce strange results. You know, people are gonna act in a strange way as well, and it is just, for the bigger part, we ain't gonna know what really is going on. So we won't be able to place a real assessment over one situation or another. Okay, but what we are gonna have to work with, we will be able to manage it. Now, as far as relationships goes, it will be important next few days, as Venus conjuncting, or rather like conjuncting Jupiter. It's very possible to bring someone to talk to go out with, you know, and to interact with. It's kind of advisable not to jump right away into it, because it's not very possible, it's how it's gonna go, that we are to jump into that interaction or commit to it rather prematurely. And it's not like doing so things are doomed to fail, but it is just there will be a unnecessary inconveniences, for lack of a better word, for down the road, that are not going to be present if we actually allow ourselves the time to get to know each other a little bit better. But the product of all that, guys, for Scorpio, it is that once this transition is over, not just only the wish fulfillment is going to be there, but also we will be very, very proud of ourselves and what we had established, because it's about establishment here. Karen, thank you for another $3 support. Thank you, Karen. That will be for Shakti. All right. Couple of minutes now, guys, and then I'm gonna move to the last 4 star signs. If you do enjoy the stream, the channel, please make sure you do subscribe, share, like the video and the videos and the live stream. By the way, when I do say the videos, I'm resuming the videos on the channel tomorrow. Probably the new weekly is gonna show up. Okay, probably, I'm saying, because things happen. Okay, things may happen, so I don't want to promise anything. And if you do decide to support the stream and the channel through super chats, you are going to have your reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Personalized reading for the transit. And should your super chat be $20 or above, the reading is going to be the elemental dignities reading that I'm doing for the star signs themselves. Karen is already covered, Shakti. Karen is already covered. But thank you so much for the $2 support. Thank you. I am covered as well. Thank you, Shakti. Thank you. And Pisces Moonbeam is covered as well, all right? So we're pretty much all covered. Yeah, Mattia is pretty much covered as well. Thank you, Shakti, for another $2. Thank you. You can have Lenormand for sure, yeah. By the way, I just before the live stream started, I was what is that channel, Law and Crime or something like that, where there are a jury trials, criminal trials that are live streamed there, and I'm always having it on the background because I really like listening about the law. And there was that case about this guy Murdoch. Murdoch, I don't know what really the case was all about, but what made me, what kind of like caught my attention is that, you know, the closing argument finished, and like 20 minutes later or a half an hour later, the jury returned with a verdict, and I said, "Oh my God, what a shit lawyers you do have, man!" I mean, that jury didn't even deliberate it. All right, they just knew you were guilty. Okay, they rendered that verdict sooner than actually that trial ended, because it takes more time to file that paperwork. It takes, you know, 10 minutes probably to file the paperwork and so on and so forth. So yeah, I mean, you were convicted long before that trial ended. So, but maybe it's not the lawyer's fault at the end of the day. I mean, if there was a overwhelming evidence, which they were, I didn't hear not a single fact that exonerates the plaintiff, or the, not the plaintiff, but the accused. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know, I watched a lot of movie shows of that kind. Okay, like Bull, and there are other shows as well. And they always say never bring the accused on the stand. All right, you never bring the accused on the stand, especially for murder trials. And I think that that's true, because the cross-examination is gonna tear you apart. You can only make your stand worse. All right, next, Sagittarius. Because what you're gonna say at the end of the day, I didn't do it. Well, yeah, like, we believed you, and not gonna believe to the evidence. I don't know, man, why people do these things. I mean, hurting another human being and all that. It feels so weak. Anyway, Sagittarius. First one, that will be the Five of Swords, followed by the Moon. And the third one for you, that will be the High Priestess. Those three cards. So you can extend your reach a lot. Okay, but basically what those cards saying here, that when that conjunction happens, your limits, your boundaries, okay, the things that are slapping you over the wrist when you reach with your hands, are not gonna be there, and therefore you do get to reach for whatever you want. Yeah, it lasts for a few days. It lasts for a few days, Taco. So with the Five of Swords, it's very important not to abuse the authority and the power that you may acquire throughout the process of it. Okay, for example, if you do earn a lot of money through it, don't kind of like look on others from a high horse, because they are gonna hate you. I mean, the Five of Swords, it's a card that has a lot of repercussions after that, which could lead to humiliation, loss of a friends, betrayals as well. So whatever you are to do under this very potent energy to get the things done, do it with a can I put it into words, with not pure, but yeah, it is a pure, but also a, what is the other word of malicious? What is the opposite of malicious? Don't be in a malicious. Okay, don't be malicious. Don't have a malicious intent doing things. Okay, because after that, it's all going to crumble around you. It's all gonna fall on your head. Simple as that. If you do plan to make changes, you will have the perfect options, or rather, like, this conjunction is going to bring you the perfect options as well. And if you do try to escape certain things like problems, so on and so forth, beneficent, yeah, all right, so be beneficent. And if you do try to escape certain things, you want to end up being victorious, so to speak, or how can I put it into words, overwhelm, that will also going to be something granted to you as well. But bottom line is that even if you do make any mistakes moving forward, they all are going to be reprimandable. You can fix them moving down the road, so which also counts for the accomplishments as well. Everything is reversible. Don't take things for granted. Don't fall in despair, and be careful whom you are trusting as well, Sagittarius. In our country, we do have a say that only your best friend can be a true traitor. Only they can betray you like none other. So be careful whom you are putting your trust into. Right, next, that will be Capricorn. Queen of Swords. Then the second one, that will be the Four of Wands. And the third one, that's going to be the Moon. Okay, so we do have these three cards. So the Moon here ain't that important. Okay, but being neutral to the Queen of Swords, it kind of shows that you are going to get a better grip. And you will get a better understanding over your surroundings, over the circumstances which are leading from one thing to another. So that is kind of like a revelations that this conjunction is going to bring you. But what is more important here, it's the other elements of dignity that we do have, which is the oops, not that one, this one here. Okay, the Queen of Swords and the Four of Wands. Okay, so we said for a couple more star signs that this conjunction is going to bring you the power and the opportunity to get things done, but none of them like you. Okay, none of them like you. So what we do have here, it is, yeah, Queen of Swords, very potent card, not just only to get the things done, but also to push the things through. right? So if you do want to push an idea through, a method through, an opinion through, a standing through, whatever you do want to push through, you will be able to do so. And with the Four of Wands in such a way that it cannot be taken away back from you. Meaning that any aspect, any detail, any important matter that relates to what you want to push through moving forward, Capricorn, is going to be attended and secured, right? So if you do want to push through, let's say, your divorce, you're going to do it in such a way that it will be like rock solid beyond the reasonable doubt. That is just, for example, you want to push through your idea, you're going to do it in your business idea in front of your investors. You're going to do it in such a way that they will just not going to be able to say no, because there will be no reason to do so, right? There is not going to be a leak, a plug to be set into them. And that way, it's just, you know, by the end of this transit, it seems that you will consider yourself quite successful. Now, this will up your game afterwards. So the only thing you cannot afford here is being lazy, right? And being, how can I put it into words, thinking that things are gonna keep up being the same way as before. They ain't gonna be the same way as before. They're gonna be more demanding, they're gonna be more productive, they're going to be more beneficial, but also they will be more stressful as well. And you're also going to do a very, very good job emancipating yourself with your environment, which will allow you to make use of any assets, no matter how big or small those are. Full kind of like acquisition and full consumption of those assets is going to be established and used as well to the best, to be accomplished, the best results therefore possible from them. All right, next that will be Aquarius. Five of Pentacles. The Ace of Cups. And the Hermit. Those three cards. It's such a, it's like that big of a slap on my face, the very least. I am a rising Aquarius, so this will be a chance for us to this will be a chance for us to improve our lives. All right, I'm not going to be cynical here. I'm not going to kind of like mock on myself. So I'm going to put it that way. This will be a chance for us to literally improve our life. And when I say our life, I mean our lifestyle, the way we eat, the way we train, the way we address others, the way we basically address things in general. So anything that makes us feel uncertain and insecure, for example, you are Aquarius and you are afraid for your job, you will address the reasons, right? Like you will kind of like, yeah, address the reasons that are making you feel insecure about your job, and that will be fixed, right? You may feel concerned about your marriage, same thing about your friendship, same thing as well. Bottom line here is that through changing the style addressation, through changing the lifestyle you have toward one thing or another, that will transcend your day-to-day routine into it, right? Day-to-day routine in your work, in your love life, and so on and so forth, to a day-to-day routine that you will learn, not just only learn, but also kind of like grow to like, enjoy, and as well love. And these are a pretty big issues, all right? All of the issues that we are to fix in the next few days, they are very substantial, right? In a sense of that, without solving them, our lives would never be as good as they can, right? So it's a lucky thing. It's a lucky because instead of drowning ourselves in our own souls, we'll actually pick up ourselves together and say, okay, that's my fault. This isn't working because I suck into it. I neglected it. You know, I do not address it proper, and now I'm gonna do what it's needed. So we are gonna, this time for a change, we ain't gonna do what we want, but we have to. And we'll see that actually doing what you have to is not a bad thing at all, especially if it does solves your problem, makes you feel certain insecure, and as well you like it. And when it comes to love, it does look like that most of the readings tonight mainly refer to love, right? As it comes to love, those cards speaks that we may decide to actually open up, in a sense of to admit this time around, and to show our sensitivity. Okay, to show that we actually care about one human being or another, and that will win a lot of appraisal. It will win a lot of a sympathy from those around us, and especially from those that loves us as well. All right, Star Lover it is. You do have a gift from Karen. All right, Rocky, you got it. I'll look into it. And last but not least, we do have Pisces. And Susie as well. Thank you, Karen. Three of Swords. 1 second. So Three of Swords. 5 of Swords. And 3 of Pentacles. Simple. Simple. So this conjunction to you, Pisces, is going to give you the power not to give a damn, right? It's just simple as that. You ain't going to give a damn what anyone thinks. Should they criticize you or not? Should they want to be partner of yours or not? It's simply your determination to stop making one step forward and have to backtrack like a 5 steps in order to fix one or another issue is going to be through the roof. And therefore you ain't gonna concern yourself anymore what is convenient to others, but what is convenient to yourself. So what this is gonna make is that you will bolster, so to speak, your confidence and also the urge to make something for yourself. That's it's can I put it into words? Well, there will be an initiation for what those cards are showing of an aspect that up until this point you were either afraid or didn't dare approaching, but you are going to approach it this time around. And let me tell you here, yeah, while people may hate you for it, certain people may hate you for it, not all of them, but certain people may hate you for it. How can I put it into words? To their displeasure, you will make it through, right? To their displeasure, you will make it through, and you will let no one tell you that you cannot do it by yourself, that you cannot move forward by yourself, and that you need them. It's quite the opposite, in fact. Alright, so that was for the 12 star signs. Now, the super chat in a couple of minutes. I will start with the Lenormand first. Okay. And Venus conjuncting Jupiter will bring me sex. No, I'm not kidding. It's gonna bring me sex. Alright, Shakti, let's see what this conjunction is gonna bring you. Well, same for you, Shakti, but you have a choice to have a sex with a person you work with or work for, either of these two. So that will be a choice that you can make, right? The decision, are you gonna sleep with your coworker or your boss or person you work with or not? All right, Jasmine, you're Lenormand as well. Let me put it here. Next, Shanna. Yeah, well, at least she does have the choice, right? Me, I wouldn't. Well, that's the thing, Taco. The cards know what you want, right? They know that I want it, so it's not matter of a choice for me. Shanna. First thing, it's weather and news that you will travel with someone you work, or you're going to travel towards someone you work, or someone that you work with is going to travel. So somehow this is going to be important. Okay, that's the first thing that is going to bring for you. And the second thing, the heck is that? uh the second thing, it's a man you know, right? A man you know is going to improve his condition, and it's going to be a slow but gradual improvement. Okay, so these are the two things, the most important things that this conjunction is going to bring for you. All right, next, that will be Jasmine. All right, Jasmine. So these are a rather nasty and uncomfortable, problematic arguments and straightaway fights that you will have with your family or people that you do consider a family, which you will end up on top of. All right, so you will be the victorious in those into those arguments. Okay, so that is the first thing. So victory in conflicts, that is in your inner circle. So these are this concerns business calls, okay, business calls, which will be either for a long-lasting endeavor, kind of like a prolonged endeavor that will carry on for a long time. Okay, these are going to be a carry on, or rather like for a long time carry on business calls. But I do believe it is the second thing. Okay, so these are a business calls that are going to take a long time, but once established, what will come out of them, it will go for a long run. And then those three. So you will receive gifts, okay? Gifts that are to allure you. not for a bad thing though. And they are very likely to come from a person that you work with or work for. All right, this is these were the Lenormand readings. Now let's go for the tarot readings. Hey Bree, welcome to the stream. Okay. What comes next, you ask? The same thing. Okay, the same thing, unless one of the subjects put their head out of their, you know what, this how this continues, right? Other than that, for now, at least for the conjunction itself, the same thing. Although, like I said, there will be the incentive there to actually make things better, but I don't know if that incentive is to be taken. I mean, it doesn't manifest on its own. It actually requires some push. Star Lover, Two of Wands. So this conjunction to you is going to allow you to increase your benefits, to increase your results, right? And generally to proceed where you do have, or rather like expand on where you already have a good accomplishments, okay? So that is what this conjunction basically is going to give you for the most part. Susie, the Chariot for you. So the Chariot could speak for many things, Susie. Generally, this card is considered to be the triumph against the odds. So if you are feeling yourself into such a situation or in such a state in your life right now, like that the odds are stacked against you, well, then this conjunction brings you the will, the power, the means to basically win triumph against those odds. And therefore the card brings a promise for a wish fulfillment. So to you, that will be the main topic here, that certain things you wish to happen, they will happen. Thank you, Karen, for another $2 US. Ruth, those, oh my god, those are the cards for you, Ruth. The Empress with the Three of Cups. So first of all, people will rally around you. Those two cards are showing that whatever you consider doing, whatever plans you do have for the future, okay, and whatever, how can I put it into words, whatever standings you do take, just people will connect. You like one thing, people will connect with you. You like another thing, people again will connect with you. Another thing about those cards, it is that this conjunction is gonna open up the flow of emotions. So there will be a lot of cases and instances out there where just people will not want to be able to hold themselves up and say, you know, they love you or they like you, they feel for you, and so on and so forth. And that is on the social level, all right? On the personal level, those couple of cards says that these are going to be, this is going to be the time for you for a initial results, which will be the reason or rather like the prerequisite under which you are gonna start forging plans for the future, plans that are doomed to succeed. Okay, so it's a big thing for you, Ruth. It could also speak for a possible engagement if that is something you're hoping for. And Bree, your card, Four of Pentacles for you, Bree. So what this conjunction is going to allow you to do, Bree, is to establish a certainty of your future. So you will consolidate in your career and in your love life, as well. And additionally to it, if you do feel threatened, this conjunction will give you the means to protect yourself. All right, next, Taco. Let's check on you, mate. You asked what is in there in the next week. So let's check it out. All right, those three. The biggest thing about them, Taco, it's a conformation. So it's temperance with the influence, under the influence of the King of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So this is a confirmation that things are possible. Okay, that's one thing. And it kind of refers to a ambitious project. But I don't believe that this is about that a vet clinic you're talking about here, because this ambitious project is not just considered, right, but it is just on a verge to start. And basically this conjunction gives you the perfect foundation to start it in the best way possible, to transform that ambition you do have, this ambitious project, into something tangible, into a powerful drive, if I may put it that way. It's generally those cards allows you to find the best way possible to cash in, all right, to build your business, to tackle your marriage. It's your inheritance. Well, if that's your project. But it could be if your inheritance depend on other people here. The temperance promises, how can I put it into words? Kind of like acknowledgement and solidarity. I mean, for example, I know that you are waiting it from your father. Your father may not agree with you, but he has to acknowledge that you are his son and, you know, you are entitled to it no matter what. Okay? So this is what the temperance also brings. And it is a, how can I put it into words? A moment where you are actually going to see a way forward. You're actually going to see a way through, and how to basically, well, that's your choice, mate. Okay. But you will, where was I? So yeah, you're going to see a way through, and it's quite difficult to describe it. It's just a way through that does not involve you doing kind of like out of this world kind of stuff. So it's going to be an easy week, but it's going to be a productive week on top of that. And definitely it's going to set you on a path that you belong, right? One thing that I need to advise you by the look of those cards, actually a couple of things. They are very prominent that you should have some fun, in a sense of try to indulge yourself with things you enjoy, that makes you feel the life to its full. That's one thing. And the other thing about those cards, it is respect others. Respect the opinion of your wife, of your friends, of your father, even if you do not agree with their opinion, respect them. All right, next, Karen. No. It's not your health, okay? I said it a project, but in reality, it's kind of like something ambitious. Okay, something ambitious you do have. That's why I consider it as a project. Mm. Karen, those are your cards. The Magician under the influence of the Ten of Wands and the Chariot. So, first things first, Karen, those cards are promising that whatever is ahead is going to be easy on you, in a sense of that, it's not going to cause much of a stress, much of a tension, and there won't be that much in stake when it comes to it. Now, the other thing it's more interesting, and that is a perseverance through discipline and through following the rules. So basically what happens here is that you must follow the rules, but they do promises very, very good results afterwards. And I don't know what the other thing means, but basically those cards says that whenever that conjunction happens, you will be heard. That should speak something to you. I don't know what exactly, but basically this is what they say. Once this conjunction is going to gift you with the power of the words, therefore whatever you try to pass through, you will be heard about it and taken not just only consideration, but will become a variable within the equation. Okay. But whatever your assignments are, you're definitely going to go through them with a flying score, with a flying grades, so to speak. All right, next, Anna. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Taco. But you know what Pisces Moonbeam taught me? Okay? When you go through something like this, the best retribution you can have, so to speak, is to have a good life. Right? That is basically the best retribution you can have. And I tend to agree with that. That's important for you, Anna. Those three cards, okay? Nine of Wands under the influence of the Ace of Cups and the Judgment. So it's a pretty direct one, and this conjunction basically it's going to manifest where you need to make a difference, for a lack of a better word, where you need to make a difference, where you need to make an alignment, where you need to make a change. Okay, and it basically is going to present you with the perfect option available, okay, with the perfect conditions, with the perfect narrative, with the perfect, yeah, it's option. Okay, so think it that way. Right now in that situation, you do have your options, but all of them have certain compromise attached. So you cannot exactly have it in a perfect shape or form. And this conjunction basically is going to present you with the perfect shape and form of it. Now, because of that Ace of Cups being there, the shifts that you will have to make, you know, the realignment, the reshuffling, it will be inconvenient, that is to say the least. In fact, in some ways, you're not gonna like it. No different than think of it like you are making a renovations, you know, while you are renovating your home, it's a mess, right? You don't like it. It's inconvenient and all these kind of stuff. But when the job is done, everything's perfect. It's awesome, and you like your home more than before. So that is what we are having here. The process itself is going to be nasty, right? It's going to be not stressful, but repulsive, for a lack of better words. But once done, it's just the situation will be set in such a way that you will have a full dominance into it. So this is where it's going to, again, repeating here, is going to manifest. That option is going to show up into the situation where right now you have no options available. You do, but they're all unideal, to say the least. And if it happens that you meet someone, and that is, by the way, a trend for you, it's always within the cards for you, so maybe it's time for you to open up for dating, right? Just so you know, you can go a long way with this one. Good night, Karen. All right, next we do have Rocky. How my new employment is. Is there anything hidden? She asks. And how long possibly can last as well? It's attached to that question. Not just only that, Taco, I believe that if you do have your own life, okay, you should attach yourself only to things that makes you happy. Not just only people, but anything in general. There is, if it is not written in the criminal law, all right, then you are not entitled to do it. You can say no, right? Doesn't matter what the society thinks, doesn't matter what your family thinks. If it is not in the criminal law, then you don't have to do it. That is something I say. The only thing that can tell me what to do, it's the criminal law. If it is not written there, then I can do it. Or I cannot do it. It's based on my personal preference. All right. Well, first of all, the time frame, it seems that you do have a good year being in that company, right? That is the time frame. Those are the cards for you, Rocky. And actually, it was a good choice, still confirming here with the Five of Cups being the first card, while the card is interpreted very negatively, right? Actually, the card represents the mundane stuff that makes you disappointed. You know, for example, in your case, there are colleagues that you cannot get along. There are certain aspects of the job, like code of conducts, like bylaws, that you do not agree with, and that disappoints you as well. Your boss is a jerk, and it disappoints you, and so on and so forth, which is everywhere, right? But these disappointments, they're just temporary things, and moving forward, it's not a problem, it's not a big deal. Now, you may be thrown into the wolves. That is what it is hidden here, right? You may be assigned to a project or a thing or I don't know, that it is a bit out of your league yet. Okay, and what is important is that when you do see that you can't do it, or you do need help or whatever, you need to make your claim, because otherwise it will be a colossal failure. But bottom line here, Rocky, is that you need to consider that next year for you, as year, in my country we call it checking out the ground, or checking out the soil, to see if the soil is solid or is a mud. Okay, and by the end of the year you will know how it is, and that will be the information enough for you to decide what you should do from there. And whatever decision you do conclude based on this examination, it will be the accurate choice. That is what the cards promises, that you will have not just only all the information, but also you will be able to make the accurate choice for yourself moving forward with your business, with your career, with your job as well. But right now, for what the cards are advising you, it's best not to quit that job, all right? It's best to stay a little, because whatever choice you do make to take the job, it was the right choice, and you should not deviate from it, at least for now. And last but not least, Mattia. So let's see what this conjunction is going to bring for you, Mattia. First one is Three of Wands. The Hangman. And it is the Ace of Wands. That is also a trend for you, Mattia, I am noticing here. Basically, this conjunction for you is going to bring stir. What those cards are showing here is that you are advanced enough, right? Advanced enough to take on more ambitious project, or more ambitious challenge, right? Or more ambitious situation. Basically, this is how it stands here, Mattia. You are having, you do have established patterns, business-wise or personally wise or romantically wise. You do have an established patterns, and you are kind of like going forward with those patterns. But this conjunction is going to say, no, 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 you can handle more. I mean, you do deserve, and you can handle more. Although at the start, you know, you may kind of like have to expand your bar of limits, meaning that you should perform more, you should be more busier, learn something new, all right, and in generally develop some kind of a skill. And now, as I'm mentioning skill for you, Mattia, next few days to a week, don't be surprised if you do realize and you do find that you are very good into something you never tried before, right? Because those cards here are a perfect for finding out, or rather like uncovering a talent that you are born with, but you just never needed it, okay? And you never knew you have it, but now you know. And if that happens, it's highly advisable for you to expand on it, to develop that particular talent. But what you can expect as a harbinger here from this conjunction, it's, for example, a new project that goes beyond your current grasp, meaning that there will be new things that you will have to learn to do, to learn to perform, right? And in generally to be involved in. It could be a new client that will be more extravagant, that will ask you to do, or rather like to search for a real estate that you never sold before, like a mansion, for example, or like a castle. All right, he comes and he wants a goddamn chateau, right? And you have to find him a chateau because he tells you the money are not a problem. It costs 30 million I'm paying, but I do want a freaking chateau, right? So this could throw you off balance a little bit because, again, it will be within the framework of what you're doing up until now, but not quite within your experience. So you may feel a little bit uncertain, a little bit insecure, but you will very quickly grow to realize that you do have knack of it. Long story short, for what those cards are showing here, Mattia, is that you are ready for that challenge, because it's not a challenge in a bad way, like you have to struggle, but it's a challenge where you take on a bigger target. You are ready for that challenge for a very long time. I don't know why you didn't took it, okay? Maybe, well, I know because was not the time, although you were ready. The environment wasn't right, but it is now, and you alone are going to feel the urge to lift the bar of your limits, to lift the bar of your expectations, and therefore to lift the bar of your profits as well. So with that said, guys, that was tonight's live stream. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for your generosity as well. To all of you. If you do enjoy the show, please like and subscribe. Share it with your friends if you think that they're going to be interested in such a spiritual practice. And we are going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.